Lumos. Hi, I'm Gita Lovegood, and today we're going to be talking about adversaries. First, what are adversaries? Adversaries are a new combat encounter that we fight on the map. They come randomly and they are a lot more rare, and they are very challenging to fight. They come in two categories: feared and lethal. Feared is going to be the easier of the two to beat, and lethal is going to be the harder ones. You know, that's where you're going to find he who must not be named. If you've been playing for a while, then you might have noticed the little posters in the very, very back of the challenge section. These have been advertising the adversaries this whole time. To encounter an adversary, you're going to be looking on your map for this green diamond that's swirling around, and it's going to be lit up a little bit. You can force these to spawn by eating an edible dark mark, which can be purchased in the store at 1, 3, or 5. And each edible dark mark you eat is going to give you 3 spawns over 30 minutes. You're going to be able to indicate which ones are coming from your edible dark mark by the green little swirly magical stuff around the diamond. Just like we have with the trace tonic, how the little purple magic swirls around those, the edible dark mark magic is going to swirl around the adversaries that are spawning on the map. Because they don't require you to finish a complete skill tree before you can encounter adversaries, and they only require you to hit level 15 as a wizard, I believe this is why they've only included 3 adversary encounters per edible dark mark eaten, one about every 10 minutes, because that should give every single player plenty of time to get through the adversary encounter, no matter how hard it is. After all, each edible dark mark does cost a good amount of coins, and you wouldn't want any players to feel like they were ripped off or gypped because it was too hard for them to get through too quickly. I do understand that it is frustrating for more advanced players where you get through it very quickly and you're just waiting, but we have to consider that this is a game that is meant for all and should be playable for those that are just starting off. So just try to keep that in mind. If we want this game to keep going, everybody has to have fun. Alright, that's my 2 cents there. Hey guys, Editing Gita here. I realized that I didn't fully express what I feel with the edible dark marks while I was talking, so I just wanted to chime in a little bit more. So I did want to talk about the price of the edible dark marks, as I know that's a bit controversial right now. So I did want to point out 2 different things. First, of course, is the main one. Niantic is a company that needs to make money, and I also feel like if this were something that were more easily accessible, people would finish this really quickly, just like every other part of the game. So I like it for the longevity aspect, because I think that as long as you have patience and you wait for the adversary events every month, then this should give you a year's worth of content. If you're not rushing, if you don't care about finishing very quickly, you don't have to buy edible dark marks. You can wait and get the free ones from tasks, and you can play on the weekends where they're increased for specific ones, and you can really, really try to prestige those particular ones during the events, and it should give you a good year-long worth of content, if not more. So that's why I'm not mad at the price or how many it's giving or anything about it. I really think that this is a great feature that they added to the game, and I feel like it's going to give us something that we're excited about every single month again, and just like a lot of nice things if you don't consider how many coins it's taking and how little you're getting. I feel like that is on purpose so people aren't, like, if you want to finish quickly, if you're a grinder, go for it. You can spend that big amount of money and help Niantic continue going as a company. But if you don't have any money to spend, if you're a free-to-play player, then have a little patience. We do have these events that should give you plenty of edible dark marks to get through things and should be fun. And yeah, just think of it as a fun extender. All right, I hope that didn't sound preachy. Back to Gita a few hours ago. If you do want to save coins on buying edible dark marks, you end up saving 30 coins per edible dark mark when you buy them in a pack of 3, and you end up saving 55 coins per edible dark mark when you buy them in packs of 5. There are 2 different groups of adversaries, feared and lethal. If you want to go ahead and see which are which, you go ahead and go into your registry and click into challenges. We have the first page, which is going to be the feared, and the second page is going to be lethal. Lethal are not quite in the game yet. They're trying to give people more time to build up their skill trees and get a little bit stronger. Now, I have noticed that they are easier at the top of the page, so Draco is probably the easiest, and then Fenrir is second, and then so on and so forth. And from what I have heard, Narciso Malfoy is by far the hardest. Now, for me, I definitely think the Hungarian Horntail is super, super hard, so I'm excited to come across Narcissa. So another cool thing about these pages is you can prestige them and you can place all the images. There are 3 different categories of images on this page. There's the main one, which is the one that has the name on the page. These start off with only 9 fragments. Then there are the secondary ones. These have 12 and 10 fragments. Think of it as like 9 is the hardest and then 10. The more fragments you need, the easier it should be to get in general for this game. So in that case, the 2 ones that are 15 each are going to be in the same category, and by that I mean whenever you place them, you're going to be earning the same amount of Defense Against the Dark Arts books. Yes, you heard me right, Defense Against the Dark Arts books. So whenever you place one of these that has 15 on the regular page, you'll get 2 DADA books. The second, on the bronze one, you're going to get 5. On silver, you'll get 12, and on gold, you'll get 25. That's for both of the ones with 15. For the 2 that have 12 and 10, it's going to be 3, 7, 15, and 32. And for the ones that have the name on the page, this is for both feared and lethal across the board whenever you place them, so you can keep all of these stats in mind. For the ones that have the name on the page, for the standard, whenever you place them, you'll get 4 Defense Against the Dark Arts books. For bronze, you'll get 9. For silver, you'll get 20. And for gold, you'll get 42. So, Defense Against the Dark Arts books should be a lot more common now, thank goodness. And the adversary events are going to be a great time to try and stock up on those and keep placing images, which we should have one starting tomorrow. Depending on when you're watching this, it might already be going, but adversary event during the whole weekend. Make sure you're participating because it's going to be a lot of fun. Draco and Fenrir are both going to be increased, so those are the easier 2. So it should be a nice, fun introduction to adversaries. They did also give us new skill trees with this introduction. So to get to those, you open up your SOS training. Then on the very bottom, you see the 2 different tabs. You click over to combat training. This is going to show you the second skill tree, which you can unlock by completing any of the other 3 professional skill trees. If you beat all 3, you are not going to have access to 3 different new skill trees. It's just completing one, access to this one new one that everybody has access to. Now, when you open up this new skill tree, there's 3 different categories, kind of separated down the line on each side and down the middle. On the left-hand side, it's going to increase your dodge against feared adversaries. For this one, if I'm honest, I'm going to have to test it out to let you know exactly what it's affecting, but I believe it affects how well you dodge the foe and if it's actually going to give you the full percentage of how much you should be saving yourself on dodging it. Or it could be increasing how much you're saving yourself by dodging it. I'm going to have to test that out. Definitely check back on future videos and I will update you there. On the right hand side, we have increased precision against feared adversaries. So this is going to increase your chances of landing a critical hit, which is amazing for these encounters because you really, really need to be able to hit them as hard as possible, and critical hits are really going to help with that. If you don't know what critical hits are, or if you don't know what any of these stats are, make sure to go back and check my player stats video and my Fortress 101 series. And then this very bottom section is going to increase your accuracy against lethal foes. Accuracy is what helps bring down the dodge rate of those foes. So like pixies and Urkulings, you know how those are like dodged and you didn't actually do any damage? This helps it so they don't actually dodge you as much. And my guess is the lethal adversary dodge rate is going to be pretty high. So make sure to start saving up those Defense Against the Dark Arts books now. Now, as far as my recommendations go, I definitely recommend everybody to go ahead and work on precision because critical hits for everybody is going to be very, very helpful. As far as the left-hand side, Magizoos, if you want to skip dodge, you can. We do have, we're not going to be using as many healing potions as other professions because we have such high stamina already. But it couldn't hurt, so if you already have the resources, go ahead and, spend them. As you can see, I bought them all except the one that cost DAD, Defense Against the Dark Arts books. And then, of course, everybody is going to want that second section, as that is against a whole other category, and it's against the harder version of Adversaries. So get those as fast as you can. Now, if you are a lower level player, it's really going to be beneficial to go into your SOS training, and this goes for literally any player, but especially lower level players. Go into your SOS training and make sure to increase the strength of your strong potion and your potent potion, maybe even your regular extimulo potion, definitely your wit sharpening if you can, and your healing potion, especially if you're an R or a professor. For sure, try to increase your healing potion as much as possible so that you don't have to use them as often. Magizoos, we do have to stay above 50% on our HP in order to keep all of our strength, so you don't necessarily have to increase your healing potion as much as the other professions do, because we have to use them more often, but that balances out with our stronger HP. It all balances out, you guys. It all balances out, I promise. All right, I think I've covered everything that I wanted to cover as far as prerequisites or the prep stuff. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you how to purchase an edible dark mark, and then what it's going to look like when you use it. So they have made this really, really easy. If you look in the top left-hand corner, right under your energy, there's a little dark mark symbol. If you tap this, right there, they have the ability for you to buy a 1-pack or a 3-pack. If you want the 5-pack, you have to go into Diagon Alley, so just keep that in mind. For the best deal, you have to go a little bit more out of your way. I don't have enough coins to do the 3-pack or the 5-pack, so I'm just going to buy one right now. All right, buy 1 edible dark mark. A Weasley Wizard Wheezes exclusive. So it's just like that lollipop I showed. I'll make sure to throw in another clip right here, but I do have a lollipop that looks like a dark mark, and I thought that's what they were copying with this, so that's pretty cool. If you ever go to the Wizarding World or to the Warner Bros. Studio Tour, I'm sure you can get that same lollipop. All right, a Weasley Wizard Wheezes exclusive. Consume this edible dark mark to summon adversaries to you for 30 minutes. You cannot use this while a trace tonic is active, very likely because of what I talked about before. They anticipate this to take you a while, and they don't want you to be wasting your money or wasting your potions by not having enough time to do both. Especially since you can increase the amount of traces that you get from trace tonics. They really, I think they're just trying to cover their butts, if I'm honest. All right, purchase for $295. And let me get this lollipop in my mouth. Oop. All right. You could just click use it right there. I didn't see that fast enough. I tapped away. So I'm going to go into, I'm going to go into my vault and then go to the middle utility section and scroll down. It looks like I'm not using my gold key right now. Whoops. All right, now use edible dark mark, 30 minutes. Use. It's got this green little smoke that goes up. And then you've got this little dark mark counter that's letting you know how long you have. Now, as you zoom in, you see your little wizard is glowing in green, and then this little dark mark, it's almost like a diamond, not quite, it's got like a little rounded thing, but it's very obviously a dark mark. So go ahead and tap that, and we are entering in our encounter. Ooh, looks like I've got the poacher, and I'm going to be going against Fenrir Greyback at the end of this. Nice, okay, beat him. Now I'm going to be click fight on. Don't click the X or you won't be able to get back into this encounter. Make sure you tap fight on. All right, now I'm going against the second one out of 3. Now if you notice up in the top right hand corner, it is a purple bar, which we know from challenges signifies that this is going to count as an elite foe, which means you can use a wit sharpening potion. And the really cool thing about wit sharpening potions is you can stack them on top of extimulo potions, since they're technically different potions. So if you're really low on energy, or you just really need to get through the battle faster, or it's a super strong foe, Or if you're a low level player and you have all of these super increased to help you get through, there you go. You can stack those potions. All right, final battle is going to be against Fenrir Greyback. And he, like I said, is going to be an easier one. All right, line up. There we go. Here we go. We've got him in the snow. Now, if you want to stack them, click one, use it, then immediately, once it loads up. Okay, I just got a restart network error. This is a really good time to show you guys. If you ever get this, do not hit restart. There's a bug. So what you want to do is close the app and immediately reopen the app. And what that does in challenges is it helps you get back into your battle. So if you're fighting with other people, you're thrown back in with them. Let's see if it works with these. I've heard of people getting kicked out and not getting thrown back in. Yep, okay. So since I had a network error, I ended up losing that battle. So yeah, I guess I will just continue talking. Basically what you're going to do from here is you're going to wait until it's closer to the 20-minute countdown and another one will pop up, and then again at the 10-minute countdown another one will pop up. You should have 3 battles each time. The last one is going to be the hardest. You can stack the extimulos with the wet sharpening and you should have a double whammy and get through that foe really, really quickly. Alright, and then quickly I'm going to go over the Adversary weekend tasks that we got from Orange Wizard. Again, if you have not followed Orange Wizard, make sure to go follow him on social media so that you can get all of these different tasks ahead of time. So if you want to prepare, he's your guy to follow. Now, we've got defeat 35 foes in wizarding challenges. Pretty easy. Find 3 wit sharpening potions. They have started giving wit sharpening potions from wizarding challenges as rewards. I've also gotten them from Adversaries, so you just have to play as normal and you should easily find these, hopefully. Use 1 edible dark mark. Don't worry, they're not going to make you pay for this. They're going to give you 1 free and the complimentary gift. So make sure you grab that complimentary gift early on in the day so you have your free edible dark mark. Earn 1500 challenge XP through challenges or adversary chains. This is where you throw on your Barufio's Brain Elixir. If you've got it increased, you'll probably hit that even faster, but it should not be too hard to hit this challenge, and then you'll get another free edible dark mark to use. Then you have use 7 strong extimulos in adversary combat. So make sure you're using strong, not potent, and not regular, and make sure that you turn them on while you're in the adversary encounter. If you turn them on while you're on the map and then you go in, it's not going to count. Use 3 wit sharpening in adversary combat. Same difference. Make sure that you turn them on while you're in the encounter, and those 3 should count, and very likely you'll want to use them anyways. Deal 6,000 damage to adversaries. This, again, should be pretty easy since at some point you are going to fight 3 of them when you have to use your edible dark mark. The last foes are close to 2,000 HP each, and so just beating those should get you there. And then finally, return 20 artifact fragments from Draco or Fenrir chain. So from this, each time you go in, you should get like 1 artifact fragment for each foe you beat, I believe. So 3 battles should give you 9, and so to get 20, you should have to do probably 7 battles total. That might work out differently if double fragments count or if I'm like wrong about this particular thing, but I believe that's what that is. Of course, this is our very first one, so I don't know everything. This is going to be a learning experience for me too, and if I'm wrong about anything, I will definitely try to update in another video to correct myself before we have another event, or definitely before we have lethal adversaries. Alright, I believe that is it. Make sure to leave any questions you have down in the comments down below. I know I'm not the best at explaining things, so I'm always happy to try to reword whatever I've explained so that you make sure that you actually know what I've talked about. Because I hate the idea of anybody leaving my videos more confused or not actually getting answers answered. Alright, that's all for now. Until next time, you guys know what to do. Make sure to use your magic wisely and keep an eye out for Dementors. Protego Totalum.